Hi, I'm G2,
And I'm Raptor,
and
and
welcome
we are
back
the
to
Radio
Radio
Riders,
Riders.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit, but
A lot has
stuff
changed
happens.
since the last episode we recorded, not only
Yes,
in
I am.
show, but in the
But
real world.
yeah, I don't even.
No.
Well, let's keep Toku because that's what we're about. But like, I
Help.
will say, this is a strange time.
It is.
I
We have a,
mean, you
we
know,
both we have a lot to catch up on for this episode.
yeah,
Um
yeah, that's true.
it has been 5 months since our last one. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, yeah, but
We
you know, stuff happens.
Yes. Life goes on.
Anything goes.
Coming up, O's.
Count the medals: 1, 2, and 3.
Did you miss us? All right.
Life.
So, what what has happened on 01 since the last time we talked, Raptor?
Well, that's a good question. Because for the most part, absolutely nothing. But at the same time, absolutely everything. You know?
Yes. Um,
'Cause
we've
on
met
one hand, I mean, you can go ahead.
uh Aruto lost Hiden intelligence. Um, we we've gotten both Final Form Vulcan and Final Form 01 in the time that we've last talked.
Hmm.
Metsubo Jinrai has um, fully resurrected,
Yep. There's all four members are there and are transforming characters at this point.
which is
The
awesome.
arc, the arc itself is its own villain, voiced by who I can only say is the most amazing thing on planet Earth. Um, but yeah, that's just base level. That doesn't even dive deeper into like all the smaller things that happened here and there.
Like character arcs, some really good episodes,
Yeah,
um, some really nice toy releases as well.
that can't forget about that. The that's part of what Rider is. It's a toy commercial, honestly,
Yeah,
but it's a toy commercial with a plot.
the show went on hiatus for a month and a half.
Right. And so instead of having really 5 months worth of episodes to talk about, we have 3.5 months worth of episodes. That's still no big deal. It's fine.
Yeah, not nervous at all.
It's not like we're gonna totally glaze over something that someone's gonna like mention to us as super big. If people engaged with our videos.
No, no, not at all.
Anyway,
Um,
man. In
well,
some ways, though, you can definitely see, though, modern 01 episodes that a lot has changed, and some things just haven't changed. And so I guess now is a good enough time as any to actually talk about what's new.
and what's more important to a story than its characters?
So I guess we'll start there, shouldn't we?
Let's go with the main man, 01 himself, Hiden
Yep.
Naruto. Um,
Hiden Aruto.
Naruto is been an all right protagonist. So, in the couple months since we last talked about this.
I feel like I'm obligated to talk about something that someone brought up to me, right?
Yes.
Um, Someone told me that Aruto is one of their favorite protagonists because they love how much they developed. And I just kind of stopped them like, wait. But they haven't really had a whole lot of development, all things considered. And they were like, yeah, well, that's fine, though, because, they don't have to, someone doesn't have to change as a character to get character development. That was a, that was a real thing someone said to me at some point. I just think that was a funny little conversation, so I thought I should mention that since we are talking about Aruto.
Yes.
Um, but the moral of the story is Aruto's fine.
Um.
He's definitely not the worst protagonist. I don't think that I have my opinions on other protagonists, but I feel like he hasn't really developed as much as some other protagonists in Rider history has.
He's more so the same person that we saw, um, in the first few episodes,
Yeah.
but
I
with
actually, I would almost argue that Aruto got more development in episode 1 than he has in almost any other episode combined.
yeah, I'd have to agree. Um, which in my opinion isn't like a terrible thing.
Right, I'm
Uh,
not trying to mean that negatively.
oh
I'm just
yeah,
trying to be objective, really.
yeah. Of course, he has not changed that much. His main goal from the outset was to protect people and protect human gears, and he's gone along that path. And um, I think the develop. I think he. Now I think about it, I think he has had a little bit of development. I feel like he's become a lot more of a competent CEO over the time that we've watched him, deal with Metsupo Jinrai, to Guy and Zaya, and of course now in his final confrontation with the Ark. Um,
Yeah.
I've I think he's come to understand more how to treat his business and the people around him, and the products. In this case, his AI that he's selling more humanely, and which he did initially, but um, I feel like he understands more now.
I can agree with that. I think like since he's interacted with the human gears a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
like it seems like he's slowly starting to understand more and more that they're not, as simple as one could see from just the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then again, though, uh, this is also not really development on Aruto's part as much as it is the human gears in general.
That's true. They've become more
Human
human-like.
gears, yeah, human gears with the singularities that they keep getting is honestly a whole lot of development. I would say for human gears as a whole, because
Yeah.
as they were first introduced, they just kind of felt like they were just they were just machines with programmed goals.
Yeah, like make this sushi, sell these houses,
Yeah, and now
guard
we've
this
got
building.
human gears who want to be fashion models and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
actors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I think that's really good, honestly.
yeah, I'd agree. Um,
Hmm. Makes me wonder though on where they could possibly go with the with within the next few episodes. Actually,
yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happens in the last 5 episodes of the show, because that's coming up. Um,
oh yeah, there's only 5 episodes left.
yeah,
Hmm. Oh well.
yeah. Well, I mean, back to Aruto.
Yeah. Back to Aruto because
He's been
Aruto's Naito.
so he's I think he's fun to watch on, like, with how he interacts with people, and he's funny. At least I find him funny. Um I think that's about as much as I can ask for from him, cuz like after sometimes you can just kind of know that sometimes you can kind of tell where a character might be leading or where they may not be leading in some cases. Um and I feel like from the get-go, outside of a couple of moments here and there with Aruto, I kind of was expecting more of a. I want to say, I don't want to say flat, because he's not a fully flat. He's just not. I can't think of the word. It's on the tip of my tongue, but like he doesn't. There was no goal. There was no like end point for him to change and become by the end of the
That's
show.
true.
Um,
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to end off. You
yeah.
know?
There's more. It was more about. I think this was more about the side characters, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Um,
Right.
outside of the character, I guess we should move on to Zero One, the writer. So
Right.
last time we talked was when Metal Cluster was in the show,
Yes.
or was debuting. I don't remember
Yes.
if we left off on the fact that he had gotten control of Metal Cluster, or if it was like the episode before that or not. I don't
I
remember.
believe it was the episode before that. Um yeah, it was actually.
Yeah,
Because I remember when we stopped off, we had still only been in like the middle portions of the uh arc of that whole arc.
with the job war thing.
Yeah, the job war arc. We were only in the middle, and that development didn't happen until like the end.
It. I think they like. No, because I like they. That was like the third. Wait, no. They. Oh yeah, no. It was the matchmaker. Wasn't it? Didn't he get control of it during the matchmaking one?
No, it was the one after that.
Mm,
Um, yeah, if I remember correctly, because the very last one was the debate, and he had control then.
yeah,
And the one before that, what was that?
I think that
Um,
might have been the house one.
yeah, it was during the house one.
Wait,
I
no. The
think.
house one was the first two. It was one of the first two, I think.
Oh, right.
Where did we get turned around? Was
You know
there
what
like
we can turn this into? We can turn this into Raptor just complaining because clearly the whole arc we cannot remember very well. Like that really goes to show how nothing the entire arc was if we're struggling to remember what the even battles were at this point.
in the order that they were in? That's true.
Not
That's
just the order.
true.
I can't remember all of them. Like I know there was houses, there was a lawyer,
Flower.
there was okay, there was flower,
That
right.
was the first one.
Oh, flower's first one?
Flowers was the first one.
All right.
And then
All
it
right,
was
and there's
house.
firefighting. There's firefighting too, and then a debate.
It was okay, I know what it is. I know what it was now. It was I think it was flower ranging, um flower ranging, house, and then I don't know if it was court for second after that, or the matchmaker. You know, it was court and the matchmaker because the matchmaker was about finding the girl that, you know, that was the accuser in the court
Right.
episode. It was finding like a different. They were trying to find her a different, you know, partner, I guess you could say. Um,
Right.
and
I get
then
you.
and then it's into the last two, which were actually pretty good. Um, yeah, so I think it was during the Yeah, no, that's pretty. It. Yeah, no, that checks. I think it might have been the corner. It doesn't matter. Either way,
That's we're still proving our point that
yeah.
it's pretty unremarkable that major forms debuted in this, and we barely remember what episodes they were on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that was a pretty long and drawn out like section of the show. In
Yep.
all honesty,
Literally my favorite part was the lawyer one because I just like lawyer like drama, like courtroom drama, and then the matchmaker one because it wasn't the job war.
okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, so Metal Cluster debuted at the end of the court scene one, at the end of the second half of the court focused one. Then it was the matchmaking,
Mm,
and then after
okay.
that it was the second half of the matchmaking one was when he got control of Metal Cluster for the use of the
Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
the sword. I'm blanking on the sword name right now. I'm
It's
the
the
Progress
Progress
Hopper.
Hopper Blade.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's when it happened. Anyway, this was supposed to be our opinion on the suit. The suit
Yeah,
is
and it turned
awesome.
into a partial opinion on the show itself. Shit
Metal
happens.
Metal Cluster was great. Really enjoyed it aesthetically. I think the silver and like the streaks of yellow really looked nice.
Yeah, I get you there. That did look nice. Although I will forever die by the fact that I kind of wish they never showed us what a metal cluster looked like with red eyes, because I will infinitely always swear by it that looked better.
Mm-hmm.
Because metal cluster having yellow eyes stands out so much since every other form has red eyes still.
Yeah, even
And
up to
metal
zero
cluster
two.
looks good with red eyes, and honestly would have made sense to have red eyes since it was connected to the arc.
Yeah, I agree. I can definitely agree there. Although I don't really mind that much. I like them with both.
I'm not saying
Personally.
it looks bad with yellow eyes
Oh
either.
yeah, I
I'm just
know.
saying,
Yeah, but yeah, I get it. We're
that wasn't real. That whole little thing I just said wasn't for you. It was more for the wonderful viewers of the internet. Yes, I like to complain. Get used to it. If you don't
yay.
like me, I understand. But yeah, like I think Metal Cluster looked good. I've always complained actually that I don't really like I don't really like how it fought after Aruto gained control. Like there were some specific scenes I remember being really cool, but like I don't know, I just kind of missed that silent, just angry nanobot controlling fucking abomination of nature. Like I don't know, there was something about that form that those fights that just gave me genuine goosebumps that made were just so exciting every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree to a lesser extent. I don't mind the way it fought after Naruto got control of it. Um, but I there are moments where I do miss that like cold calculating, um, monster that it was beforehand.
Right. But
Um,
luckily, Toei heard my complaints, and by heard my complaints, I mean I mailed them. I mailed them letters every day for like a month and a half, and they were like, "Okay, cool, fine, whatever. As long as it gets that Raptor guy to shut up." So they made another rider that we'll talk a bit later about. Um,
so after
you know,
that was 02, which we just
ah,
got
yeah,
debuted uh, the other day.
yeah. The other day, like, wasn't it like freaking
I,
yesterday or
It was
something like
yes.
that?
It was yesterday. Now that I think about it. Yep.
Yeah, it's Monday.
It is Monday,
Huh.
or it was. Yeah, it is
Cool.
Monday. Yeah. The Nego reference is on point.
Yeah, that's definitely something we got to mention. The Nego reference is always something that's appreciated.
Down to
Uh,
the red gloves, the red like the big
yeah,
armored red
and
gloves, and
because of that, it pairs super well with Ichigata,
yeah,
which which is based on
Ichigo.
um Ichigo and his original design.
Um,
So that's always something to look at.
the muffler like on the center, that's the 0, and then the 2 is really cool. Um,
Yeah.
the faceplate that goes on front of the that makes it the 02 driver is
Yep.
really cool. It being like a 2 when it's closed is a really nice touch.
Because you got to change 1 to 2.
Yes, the key itself is awesome. I love that Arto got his amazing coca sauce styled key.
Yeah.
With the the spring action where it just kind of flips open. Really nice sounds. The jingle is awesome. Um, the henshin was really cool, really cool.
Yeah. Man, I can't stop thinking about that transformation actually, because like I was not at all expecting it to look like that, and well, to have that transformation.
Yeah.
And I think the two grasshoppers made it even better.
Yeah. Oh man, the 02, like the 02 floating in front of him when he like authorizes the belt by flipping the one panel over was really neat. The
Yeah.
whole satellite Zaya falling down, like the I don't know, the projection of it, at least not the actual one, forming the
Well,
suit
I
is
mean, you know,
whatever, semantics.
yeah,
Um, um, it
details, schmetails,
it
whatever.
fights really awesome. That first fight was really really good.
Man, I never would have expected that to be its ability. Um, like honestly, I'm still reeling, trying to go piece together what exactly it's doing.
It's
Because one of my absolute favorite things, just in store, in base power, blah, stories with powers in general, is I like to make sure I can completely understand what exactly that power is.
mhm.
It's what I intently study how powers work and how they're used because I want to be a writer. So I feel like that kind of is something I need to study, you know?
Mhm.
Um and so because of this, I've been intently studying how Zero Two fights and how its abilities are worded, but I'm still honestly not entirely sure on how it works. So
Um,
do you think you can explain it a little better?
from what I was from what I was able to understand, it's basically Shining Hopper um on crack.
Fair. Yeah, that's one
Um
way of explaining it.
because Shining Hopper had like it had the like from what I can tell, like each major upgrade kind of gave either boosted uh the calculating power of the suit or the actual like strength of the suit.
Yeah.
And Zero Two basically gives Aruto the processing and calculation like numbers and like understanding of the actual satellite Zaya.
Yeah.
Um, hence why it was able to take on. That's why it could take on the Ark because one Zaya was actually a fully functioning satellite as opposed to the Ark, which was you know blown up and is sitting at the bottom of a lake, or at least was.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because that would
that's
definitely put a little bit of a hamper on how well art can actually function.
Yeah, I think that's from what I can tell for now. I think that's what makes 02 so final. I guess you could put it.
Yeah.
It's got
Um,
it's got the processing power of the whole Zaya satellite.
and more than just that, from what I've gotten from it, it's almost like counter predicting, but at an even higher level than anything we've seen before.
Yeah, it takes into consideration literally everything, like how the what the your opponent's gonna be doing, even more. It's just I wonder how many scenarios the it's running through to find the optimal path.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Depending on how they decide to show it off, maybe in the next episode, if it even, the sad truth of Ryder, they might just ditch that power and just be like, okay, yep, it's strong, and then move on. Um,
For one,
we can hope not though.
to that point, although I feel like for a fight, it's for that first fight they bring it up, but I think what you're supposed to do is going forth is just not assume because it's probably happening. Like you have to have in the back of your head that it is doing all of that still. It just we
Right.
get to see it in more of a natural, like what other people would be seeing, basically.
Fair enough. I get you there. But what I was really gonna come to, right, is
Mm-hmm.
that from what it looks like, from what I've gathered of the form, right? It
Yes.
looks like what it's really doing is, how do I put, it's predicting Ark's predictions. Like it's
Yeah.
waiting for Ark to make a move. Like what we basically saw in the fight, right?
Yeah.
Is we weren't seeing what 01 was seeing. I mean 02 was seeing. We were seeing Ark predict things.
Yeah.
And he chose what he thought. I mean, Ark chose what he thought 02 would go with. So he countered there. But 02 knew Ark would predict he'd go there. So he was able to use his speed to, make that prediction worthless.
Yeah.
So like from what I'm getting, at least, I'm getting the vibe that like what its true ability seems to be is counter predicting with enough speed to make their predictions mean nothing. Which is an interesting ability, I gotta say.
Yeah. I couldn't ask for more, to be honest. It's basically like I said, Shining Hopper on crack, and we loved Shining Hopper's fights.
Yeah, Shining Hopper was amazing. This thing fighting is just godsend, like actual god tier fight.
Yeah. um yeah, and
Yeah.
aesthetically we have now we have uh pretty opposite opinions on it on the suit itself. um I
Oh, that's
I love the suit. Raptor could care less.
yeah, yeah. It is definitively like in my like top 3 least favorite final form suits. I really don't care for it like at all.
I think if I remember correctly, your opinion of it was that it was too it looks too standard and doesn't look enough like a final form.
Basic yes and no. Basically yes, but the more full of that is it doesn't feel like much of an evolution past what we already have. It
Yeah.
looked to me personally, it looks more like a like it looks like it could be like right after Shining Hopper, but
Mm-hmm.
instead where it's comes 3 forms later.
Yeah,
Like
it's the final form.
right. Like and so it feels really awkward to me when we start from thin and yellow to bulkier and yellow to bulkier and and yellow and blue and some heavier armor to just as bulky but now all silver with yellow accents to go all the way back to slim and yellow with some silver and red. Like it just felt like a weird backwards step, and because of that, it's aesthetically it just feels wrong to me.
Yeah,
Not in the sense that it looks bad, but in the sense that it just feels like it's in the wrong spot in terms of the like evolutionary line.
that's fair. That's fair. And I know that a lot of that is also it plan. I know that your personal aesthetic also plays into more heavier designs as well.
Yeah, that is
So,
also true.
um,
That is personal bias, but I tried a little bit to leave that out of my explanation because
yeah,
just explaining, I don't like it because I don't like it is honestly my least favorite like thing ever. So I
yeah,
want to give some reasonings.
yeah. No, I definitely. And then you know what? That's part of a conversation. You kind of have to have
Yeah,
that. And like to quote, I do remember you. You weren't like super like you didn't. I'm trying to word it. You weren't like a super big fan of just the default Rising Hopper 01 form to begin with anyway.
yeah.
Would you prefer this to like say this was the initial design for 01, like barring the 02 thing, like this is a weird question, but do you know what? But do you kind of
Yeah,
get what
no,
I'm trying to
yeah, I
say?
get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah, like if barring the whole 02 aspect of 02, I could definitely see this as a really cool base form that
Mm-hmm.
honestly I think would have been like honestly I think that would fix part of my problems as like of the form in general, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because my biggest problem is that it feels like it's awkwardly like backwards in terms of evolution. Where
Mm-hmm.
if you have it at the beginning of the chain, it just feels right in my eyes at least.
Yeah.
which I know is really vague and won't apply to everyone, and people probably think I'm freaking stupid. But that's just like
Which
the
seems to
way
be the
I see it,
case.
at
I
least.
saw a lot of people really, really praising this suit
Yeah,
when we
yeah, I
got
know.
first pictures of it.
Yeah, there are a lot of, and then of course, those same people are now complaining about a certain someone who popped up in magazines.
We'll
But
talk
that
about
is a
tomorrow.
talk for another day.
Or tomorrow, whenever the next episode. That's what we'll go with. um,
Yeah, next game.
for me, I love the suit. I feel like I like the little extra bulk that it adds to the original Zero One suit, and I really like the thick silver under the yellow that's here and there. I love I love the larger spots of red that are on the design. It feels
Yeah,
like I have kind of I don't particularly care what I don't know. I don't have any like parameters, or I guess you could say like I don't have like any requirements for a final form personally. Like that are I don't really have any specific ones. I don't even mind if it's like um less armored than the original. Um, I just want there to be like a bit like you can kind of tell that that there's an evolution, and also I think it might
right.
play personally. I think that the 02 suit being similar to the 01 suit, but just better, kind of plays into the tech part of the show, because that's
So yeah,
how generational upgrades work outside of like those in between 1.0s. Like you could see like all the forms between 01 and 02 as point whatever upgrades, and then 02 is
yeah,
like the
like
next standard model, and then you can go from there, right? So that's
right,
kind of
right,
how
right.
I chose to
But I
view
just
it.
can't wait for the movie form 03. Ooh.
If that movie even comes out, I'm pretty skeptical.
Yeah,
Considering that we
if
have
that's even what if the form is, because honestly, from what it could just be freaking 002. Like who
I'm
knows?
man, that's a topic for another thing, but we got to talk about like what's the hell's happening with that, with both the Kira Major movie and the 01 movie.
Yep, because
Um,
those were supposed to come out on my birthday.
yeah, those were supposed to come out a few days ago, but they were delayed. Obviously before the when like
Stuff happened.
yeah the COVID 19 situation. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the form. I love the extra red on like the arms and like the muffler and I love the red antenna. I love the silver that outlines the yellow on the suit. I think it just looks sick,
Right.
personally. But that's part of having conversations. You have differing opinions sometimes, and that's okay.
I feel like at some point that's gonna be like freaking catchphrase of the show.
We
Raptor
have
has different
differing opinions.
opinions, but that's okay.
That's fine. All right. Next
And
rider,
eventually that's gonna devolve into you're wrong, but that's okay.
the one suit that's debuted for Vulcan between last time and now is the
Because
glorious, the best Rampage Vulcan.
whoa, don't you mean punching Kong?
No.
Oh yeah, you're not that much of a fan of punching Kong, are you?
I wouldn't say
Hmm.
not a fan. I don't it's okay. It's not my favorite.
Fair, fair.
Yes.
But
But
do you know what
Rampage
is your favorite?
Vulcan,
Rampage
oh,
Vulcan.
it's so good.
Man,
I don't know.
Rampage Vulcan is so good.
It is so good. The the colors, the blue with the like orange slash gold. I'm still not sure if it's an orange or a gold personally.
I I want to go with orange purely because Valkyrie is orange.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. But with like the skeleton like designs that are on the inside of the keys on the left half of the body, just like all the eyes for the different animals are the color that key was, and by extension that form, and the helmet is so cool with the like left side having all the having like the I don't know what the like the attributes of whatever that form, whatever that
Yeah,
animal
yeah, yeah.
was, just down. It looks so good. It's one of my favorite, if not, it's definitely my top 5 favorite suits of all time. Uh, from Ryder, easy.
Yeah, yeah, I can completely agree on that.
I
Like, not like I don't know me personally if I'd say top five, but it's definitely really high up on my list. It's such a good form, and
uh,
honestly, it's weird because I I bring back my extremely odd and kind of arbitrary um like weird message I have on Joe 2, and you can apply that to this form actually because in every sense of the word, you can tell that that Vulcan's been building up to this over time. From how you go from rampage, I mean, you go from normal shooting wolf, which is just an all, which is sorry, I've got a bad cough today.
no, it's okay. You're
But
fine.
from what started as Vulcan, just base shooting wolf Vulcan, which is a really good suit. Don't get me wrong. Then you go on to Rampage on Vulcan. I mean, no, not Rampage. Assault Vulcan, which looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get your way onto Rampage, which is just beautiful. Not only for just being a nice suit, right? But because from how the suit itself functions, starting off like being a mix of all these different like past animals and whatnot. You go from one angry wolf boy to just an actual Vulcan Gatling gun. Like I just it's so good in that sense
My
that it just feels right.
Yeah, like everything down to the fact that it's honestly, I think you could work. Like I love, obviously, based on how I react to this, I prefer this. This is better than Zero Two, like in every way, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But it almost does what Zero. It almost does what Zero Two was supposed to do for Vulcan, but like way better.
yeah.
Cause like the
It
Vulcan
looks
suit
like
has like the doesn't have like has all the has like the wolf part on like the right hand part of the suit,
yep,
and it
and
has like the
completely
white,
blank on the other. Yeah,
and that's reflected in instead of having nothing on that half, it's like the bare minimum like skeletal armor of like all the animals on that side that was absent in Vulcan Shooting Wolf.
right. And even that is an upgrade from Assault Vulcan,
Mm-hmm.
who was connected to the Ark. The Ark, like being connected to the Ark and going from that to being connected to just progress keys in general, or at least those. I think it was nine. Yeah, those
Something like
nine
that.
other keys.
10.
Yeah,
10. Yeah. I
no,
just checked.
yeah, no, one of the yeah, yeah, yeah. It's 10, but I was saying nine other because like
Yeah. Wolf.
one of those was Wolf.
Yeah.
But to go from being Wolf connected to the Ark over to Wolf connected to the nine other keys that we got directly from Zaya in this, like we know, like that just screams awesome to me because like it's just so good. I
It even
cannot get
works
enough of it,
on a
actually.
level with how Fua developed because, like, you go from Chip, right, to
Yep.
Arc with the Fang, and then he resisted the Chip. He doesn't need the Arc anymore because he's not using the Assault Wolf key at this point.
Right.
Straight to a like what he wants to be, which is he wants to drive his own life and not need any outside sources outside of, you know, his own fists.
Right. And that's just one of the reasons that Rampage Vulcan's so awesome.
And that's not even getting into how it fights, which is just the
I'm glad you mentioned that. I
one of
was
my
just about to
favorite
say
one of my favorite ways. Favorite
that
final
debut fight looked like the entire fight looked like a goddamn fighting game trailer.
the the idea of using like sets of three based on like a common characteristic and how he like chained them together in that fight is so good.
Oh man.
And then when we learned that he can actually use each one individually without without using the finisher, like the gathering, uh, the rampage function in the key, is
Right.
so good.
Yeah, that's oh man.
The fact that we haven't seen it much recently is criminal.
Yes. Please bring it back.
I'm assuming
Please.
it will be, but like, it's been a few episodes without it at this point. Or not
Yep.
few. It's been a little bit, but then again, that's because Vulcan hasn't really been the focus right now,
That's
like
true.
it
'Cause
was when it debuted.
Vulcan actually had a damn character arc. And it was amazing.
He's definitely one of my favorite writers in all of writer.
Yeah. And you have the right to say that since you've watched like how many?
Every Heisei season.
I was gonna count like 1, 2, 3, all every Heisei season, and at the moment, you are up to date on the Reiwa era. So there's that.
Yes,
Um,
but
I may not be able to say the same, but have
you're
watched
getting
Beast
there.
Rider.
You're getting there,
I'm
though.
getting there. I'm getting there. It'll take a while, but I'll get there.
Yes.
Um, yeah. But
uh,
Rampage is such a good form in like every single way.
the minute the SH figure art for this goes up, immediately on pre-order. Immediately.
Oh, definitely.
Like, no
Cannot
question.
blame you.
No
Cannot blame
question.
you for that. That good choice.
Uh, I to keep, we have to keep moving, obviously, but I think that says not like, oh, I could rant about that, how much I love that suit for hours, honestly.
Yes.
All right.
Now
In
let's
the
just
mean,
move on
yeah.
to the other Ames rider, I suppose.
Valkyrie didn't really get anything, but
Although we should mention we did get to actually see the resolution to her character arc
yeah,
in this time frame.
which I'm glad she had. I was really worried that she was just gonna be not really focused on and kind of abandoned. Even when I was like when we were talking, and I think I don't know if I don't. I'm not gonna come out and say it. Well, I'm going to, but like I don't know how to prep it. But like you gave up on her at one point, didn't you?
Maybe.
Honestly, when I was
Okay,
telling you that
I'll be honest. Yeah, I did give up on her for a while.
I didn't, to be honest, when I was, because I know we talked about it. It might have been on the show too. We do talk a lot about Ryder outside of the show, of course. Being
Honestly,
friends and
some
all.
days it's just all we talk about, and we just kind of, we're cool with that most of the time.
Yeah, but like even when I was telling you that, like, no, don't they got something planned for her, I was 100% sure myself. I'm gonna be honest. That was
Yeah, we were just kind of sitting there like, this might be it. And now she has a final form, and
yeah. We'll get to that in a second.
uh,
Yeah, but she she had a character arc, which was nice to see. Um, by assistance of the god Fua.
yes, and yes, because Fua is literally the greatest thing ever in the show.
Yes. Um,
Second, second to only the one true goddess, Izu.
easy. You have had, honestly, I think going the route of having her stand up to Guy and quit was a really nice way to put it. It's a nice message of if you're in a shit situation and you're not quite sure what to do, but you know that you don't want to be in that situation, that sometimes you just have to slap yourself back to reality, turn around and walk away from whatever horrible thing you're in.
Yeah, Because
in this
honestly,
case,
that's just what needs to happen sometimes.
yeah, sometimes you just need to walk away. You're not weaker for it. You just sometimes you have to do it. And I
Yeah.
think Yaiba being the vehicle for that um, was a really nice way to do it. Because she was a guy was just a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Guy was a
Guy, we have
horrible
to talk
person.
about later.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I'm going down like the list of like when they appeared, just to
Right.
keep it concise. But yeah, uh, they did really good on Yaiba, and the acting for her actor has nailed it.
Yeah.
Every like unsure glance, those moments where they would like, where they like focus on her for a minute when like Guy was doing, guy stuff.
Yeah.
It you could kind of they were like silently building it, and that's kind of what gave me that little bit of hope that they would bring it around and do give her the rest of that character arc that she really needed, to be honest.
Yep.
And I'm really happy that they did. Um, Now about suits, we haven't gotten anything rider related for her outside of Lightning Hornet. Uh, but she did get a raid riser. She did become a raider for a short little bit. She became the Fighting Jackal Raider, and
And that is, in fact, her latest suit, therefore her final form,
yeah,
technically.
and it's you can definitely say that it's for right now an official slash unofficial because it is in Gamma Rising for her.
Yeah.
It has its own finisher and everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's honestly it's a sick suit. I like how they kept the design. They kept the little designs, the parts of her rider design in the design of the suit of the raider.
Yeah. I
Down to
will say,
like the
um,
face, the eye, like the lines that go down from her eyes, to her
mhm.
mouth, to around her mouth area.
Yeah, those are honestly all really neat little details, actually.
Even having the same
Um,
kind of like Under Armor and like arm armor that the normal suits, the normal Ames rider suit has, that her
yeah.
and Valkyrie have, not her and Vulcan have. My bad.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
I will say though, when I first saw, um, what was it? When I first saw Yaiba using the Raid Riser and saw her transform into Fighting Jackal, I immediately thought she was Bo. Like immediately like on sight. That's the first thing that I thought of because I knew that that form was had some similarities to the Egyptian god of death.
yeah.
So I
Uh,
felt like that would work. I was wrong,
The
but
scythe is very misleading, and I think that might have been no. I don't think it was intentional. I don't know. I think it was just like a whole thing of the Anubis being a jackal
yeah,
to begin with, and obviously being the god of death. I'm going off of memory here.
yeah. Anubis, the god of
Scythe
death.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really. I don't know how much. It was just kind of there. It hasn't been in an episode for a very long time. Obviously.
do you know who does show up in episodes?
Wait,
Hirobi.
wait. No, we got one more.
Oh, okay.
Jin.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Jin is Jin.
Jin is great. What are you talking about?
I'm being mean to Jin for no reason. Jin's cool. I
Jin's a
love
little
Jin.
baby boy. He doesn't need your the
Jin
meanness.
is no longer baby. Jin craves power.
um, him coming back was a not a big surprise actually.
I was gonna say they refused to take him out of the opening for the longest time.
Yeah,
That was
I'm
before pandemic. Like they just didn't do it.
um
Dan was dead for less time, and he was still in. Like they still took him out of the opening.
yeah Jin has developed. He's become a man. over the after being resurrected. Oh, we don't know how he was resurrected. We still don't know, and I have a feeling that we're not going to get that
We have
answer
5 episodes left to figure out how it happened, and I don't think we'll be told.
unless unless they keep it for a V cinema. But like that's not great storytelling in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of having the final chapter of your video game be DLC.
Or having the final episode, the ending of your show, be in a movie. Oh wait,
Or, having crucial background elements to your show be in a movie. Wait,
is that double?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's it's it's
that's a different
important.
topic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
I said important-ish, because it's important-ish, I
Ish.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I really hope
that
they
game,
explain that because like it is cool. He's him being like not part of any, not being connected to any satellite is really cool. Uh,
yeah.
he's developed.
Although,
He's allied himself with 01.
yeah,
Aruto. That's cool. He's an official good rider now.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, cannot wait for people to debate endlessly next year and the year after that, and the year after that, if he's the tertiary or not.
I'm still holding on until otherwise. Other information says otherwise that Valkyrie is still the tertiary rider. Um,
Right.
we still those rider car those we haven't gotten anything like that says that she isn't at this point.
Right.
Um, that's all I can say on that. I don't know. We just kind of have to see how time goes and like what promotional material pops up in the next couple of years. So
Yep.
we'll get back to you on that one.
And the radio writers never did ever mention this again.
We probably won't.
Honestly, at some point, we'll probably in like 10 years, we'll get an anniversary rider, and the tertiary will use tertiary riders finally. Finally do something like that,
Yes.
And they'll use Jin instead of Valkyrie.
They
And we'll
might
just
end
be
up doing
sitting
that.
there like, what?
Oh, okay, cool. And then we can retroactively change everything that we thought. Um,
Yeah,
so
but then they pull a real big brain and just pick some complete left field answer. Like they
Harobi,
call on all secondaries and they call on all secondaries and they choose Hirobi.
that'd be interesting. That would be weird. That'd be
They call
really
all
weird.
primaries and they pick out Ichigata. Like just really throw us for a loop. Just like we
What
just
is
have to
going
sit there and
on?
look like what?
Um,
Why?
in so speaking of unexplained uh elements of Jin, uh, the boy has dropped the Metsubo the Force Riser for the Zaya slash Riser. Now, before we get onto the suit itself, Burning Falcon, we also don't know who. It says Zaya. We don't have an in-show explanation from where the slash Riser and the Burning Falcon key came from.
Nor does anyone else ever mention that it exists. Actually, that's an interesting thing. Every other key has been acknowledged. Every other belt has been acknowledged in some way.
Yeah.
Burning Falcon in its entirety is never once mentioned by anyone in
No.
any way.
Yeah, which is really weird because it's It's a super. It's a super slash final. It's like it's Jin's final form.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
and
just weird to me,
it's sweet
honestly.
too. Like you think they would explain it.
But like literally, and even like we know there's multiple shot risers, right?
Yes.
There's prototypes too. There are multiple force risers.
Yes.
We know why there's only 101 driver.
Yeah.
We know why there's only 1000 driver. There's multiple, etc., etc. Right? We know all of this, but the only driver that is literally never even called by name outside of the belt itself is the slash riser. Slash Riser doesn't even say it's a Zaya product, but the premium Bandai like releases do. We know, so we do know it's a Zaya product, right? The
Yeah,
key just kind of comes out of nowhere. We don't know how we got any of it. We
pretty
can't
much.
say we
Honestly,
can't say it's the arc or something because it's not.
yeah. That's why I said like. That's why I segue because like honestly, like Jin's resurrection, it just it showed up inexplicably, of course, with him because it he came with it.
You know what's actually, this is actually more baffling than Jin is coming back, because like, let's face it, right? We don't know who brought back Jin, but
Yeah,
we get they probably wanted to help revive the arc or something. So we get why they would want Jin revived.
yeah.
However,
Why would they make him not connected to the arc?
exactly, you hit the nail right on the head. If it was for the purpose of reviving the arc, why would they remove his connection from the freaking arc?
I swear, Hiden's Aruto's grandfather is gonna be alive still, and like that's why it's why they're still
Oh
alive.
no, don't spoil it. We find out that well, I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
We find out that Grandpa is a writer, and he's the reason everything's going wrong.
I, I'm, why? Where did Jin come from? Where?
That's not even
Where?
that's not even the weirdest question with Jin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's like really, that's not even the weirdest question with Jin himself.
Who made
Like,
his clothes?
actually, okay, different question. Why can he teleport now out of suit?
It must be honestly. Honestly, the only thing I can think of currently is maybe the only thing I can tie it back to is the theming of his suit. You know, Burning Falcon. A Burning Falcon. What's a flaming bird? A phoenix. And that's even part of his henshin. The full henshin.
Revive like Phoenix.
My only thing I can think of is that might have something to do with it, but that's complete guesswork. Complete
Yeah, and
guesswork.
even then, has anyone else noticed that the human gears are flammable?
That's true. Yeah, yeah, that's true. At least the outer skin is.
Yeah, and he's teleporting away into a burst of fire.
Although that might be like a.
Good.
He might have been built with the specific with using the slash riser with the burning falcon key in mind. So I feel like that's like a little less.
See, I would understand that, right? But the problem is, we don't know who built Jin
or how he was
and
built,
or when he got the slash riser. Like, that could have been two different things. Like, one
You know
person built
what?
it, and then he went and stole the force from the slash riser.
I know how we're gonna learn.
What?
That might be explored in the second half of the Faucer Project Faucer thing.
Oh.
That's an entirely real possibility.
Sounds like bad writing to me, but okay.
Fair enough.
See, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all down for the Project Dowser specials. I think they're cool.
Yeah,
But like, I think there are some key details
that should be
that
in the show.
need to be in show.
Yeah.
For example, learning when exactly Naki gets put into Fuwa's brain. That's cool, but it's not really important. It's just a neat little thing to know.
Yeah, and if they did let you know, if they told you at the moment, then it would have spoiled the surprise of Naki being inside of Fuwa's brain.
Right. But something like where the hell not Fuwa, Jin came from, who revived him, why he has a slash riser that's branded Zaya. I feel like now is a really weird time to tell us, especially now that we're supposed to be rooting for the guy a little somehow. That's something for a little later.
Yeah.
But still, Jin, like, where did you come from, and why is your backstory delegated to just a side special?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Flaming
not
Jin.
Burning Jin. Okay.
Oh,
So I think we've said all we can for I
That's
think we said we can for Jin at the moment, right?
we need to touch on our opinions on the suit.
Suit good.
Suit good, yeah. I like that it because it switched to a Zaya product and by extension a remodel of the Shot Riser. It's it has more in common with Vulcan and Valkyrie's suits than it does his original suit, outside of like the motif and like the eye shape and all that.
Yeah,
I just
and
think
it's same animal, I guess.
it's badass. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, but like I just noticed
Yeah,
Jin is kind of cool.
yeah.
No, but actually, right? Like the Jin suit's cool and all. One thing though that I do kind of miss is me personally. I really like the like construction-y, like kind of like mashed together, almost
It's like
hazardous look of the Force Riser
yeah,
riders.
it's like
Just
plates.
just a tad.
Plates held together by like uh, I don't know what to call that. The like the little bands in between the. I
Yeah.
think I want to call them. No, not Velcro straps. That's
Let's
a
just say it's
bummer.
bondage and move on.
Okay,
Now,
fine. The one of my favorite detail of those suits was the diamond plate like textures on like some of the armor pieces.
right, and I loved that too, and I loved how the transformations looked and all that.
Yeah,
Plus, I've just come to realize we're not going to get all four Force Riders and all four Force Riser riders all at the same time. We're not going to get that. I just have accepted that at this point.
you know
Also,
that's
that was a damn tongue twister and my head hurts.
That's fair.
Uh
I don't think that's out of the question. We've had like cases where like riders will just go to their base form for the final episode, like the final fight.
Oh yeah, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah. So I don't. I think I don't know if it's gonna happen. If it'll happen this season. It did. Worth a note. I think it's worth to note that since this is the same rider as Xaid, every rider in Xaid in that final fight was in their base form.
Oh yeah, that did happen actually, huh?
Anyway, yeah. Burning Falcon good.
Burning Falcon good.
Hirobi hasn't gotten anything new. His character has been, as the arc wills it, that's pretty much him.
Yo guys, when we get a official dub of 01, can you guys like quote like call for me please to be Hirobi? Like I would love to voice Hirobi, please. Come on. just let me. Like I
As the
know he
arc
doesn't
wills
like
it.
have much of a personality, but like I can totally do a voice that would work for Hirobi.
I don't know. There's no outside of I only have like a couple things to say about Hirobi. I think knowing that he was a parent Humagear, it was cool information.
Yeah.
And it seems to be tying into next week's episode where he seems to be teaming up with 01. He's going to be breaking free of the Ark's control, which is nice because he was initially a couple of weeks ago when Aruto hit him with the Prograi's Hopper Blade, which is known to you know help Humagears not be hacked, which is
Yeah.
what Hirobi is. He's a hacked Humagear.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's about it. There's not much about him to talk about, at least right now.
I know what I can say about Hirobi.
Oh,
No suit in the history of riding has ever grown on me as well as Sting Scorpion has.
yeah, I remember you talking about it a little bit ago.
Because at first I thought the suit was dumb. I'll be honest, like at first I just genuinely did not care about the suit at all in any way.
Mm.
But now it is one of my favorite base form 01 suits. Yeah, like that was like a drastic change, really.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
but what can I say? I like scorpions and I like purple. Plus, I just like I said, I might be a bit of bias towards the character itself, but seeing him in action is always fun. So like,
Yeah, he kicks ass.
And he's using such old tech, and he's still kicking ass. It's great.
He was kicking. Wasn't he whooping Fauster's ass? Yeah, he whooped
Yes.
Fauster's ass like
Solo
a month
whooped
ago.
Alistair.
Like, and he's using a belt that is 10 years older than the Thousand Driver, which was pretty much just created.
Yup.
That's
And
insane.
not to mention, apparently, from the previews, it looks like he's still holding up.
Yeah, against
So,
Arc, which is up until 02 the most advanced and most powerful rider in the show.
and this man is using 10-year-old tech against the most advanced thing in this show, and he's not immediately dying. That says a lot.
Yeah, granted, he is working alongside 02, but still, the fact that he's probably going to be fighting on equal terms for the most part, it still says a lot.
Yup.
Hirobi's a badass. That's pretty much what this whole talk about him has been about. He's just a badass.
Yeah. He's a badass. He speaks in haiku, honestly. Honestly, I'm just surprised he doesn't actually speak in haiku at this point.
He could honestly, he could probably make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Hirobi. Um,
Yeah.
Ikazuchi
Yeah, let's talk about Ikazuchi.
or Raiden.
Here's everything that's happened about Ikazuchi / Raiden.
He
He's
died.
back.
He's back. He's done some cool shit. He didn't quite. One thing that I knew that they weren't gonna. I knew that he'd probably come back at one point. Not for the same reasons I knew that Jin was gonna come back. I knew Jin was gonna come back because we knew about Burning Falcon's existence by name only for like months, like a couple months in advance, right?
Yeah.
But with Ikazuchi, I thought the design was too good and too cool for for them to only use it for a episode and then never see it again. Because unfortunately, he debuted in the episode that Vulcan got Assault Wolf, so that was a stomp battle to show off Assault Wolf immediately.
Yeah.
In the time that he's come back, he's got a nice new look, like outer suit. He looks sweet. I love his like style that he's rocking.
Yeah.
He's even getting a little bit of character development right now,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Like which is related to his brother, which I think the brother's name was Subaru, right?
Yeah. Subaru.
Subaru, yeah. Which is honestly awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Ikazuchi back, but
Yeah. That's all.
I don't actually have anything to say on him.
Yeah,
Ikazuchi is kind of
that-
here.
That's it. I think yeah, and other than being the arc currently, or like, or was the host.
We'll talk more about that when we get to
Yeah.
our.
Now Fauser. We're gonna be.
Oh.
Let's focus on just the character and then move on.
I mean,
Where to
all right,
start?
all right,
Okay,
okay.
this is one of the
Do you want to
weakest.
start, or do you want me to start?
I'll start, and then we can.
Alright,
I'll play good cop, as good as I possibly can be right now. And you play bad cop.
Okay.
Fauser has one of the most sorry excuses for a villain turnaround story I have ever watched when it comes to Ryder.
Wow, you're supposed to be good cop.
Yeah.
I've got some damn shoes to fill. Jesus,
Yes.
we're
Now-
off to a great start.
It's only helped by the fact I'm going to give them a small benefit of the doubt. Small benefit of the doubt. By the fact that maybe there was supposed to be a few more episodes that would have pulled his character arc all the way around to where he would be, I'm trying to word it, but, to pull his character arc from a bastard CEO that has these list of crimes that he's done over the years to a repentant man working to help save the world. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe there was a few more episodes planned, and that got scrapped because the pandemic. Maybe there would have been like at least 5 more episodes to flesh out the character, and work on that. But oh my god, what we do have now is what we have now. So we have to judge it on that. Um, the best thing about this whole situation is the fact that the dog is cute. Ibo, the robotic dog.
Thausa.
That's it. they they dropped the ball heavy. The writer did. Dropped it really, really badly, and that's all I can really say. I like to watch the character on screen. I think he's an enjoyable character, but I really wish that if they were gonna go the good route, I think that a little bit of foresight would have been better. So they could have already started working on that beforehand. Like, like a few episodes, like sometime after he started getting stomped, it would probably be ideal, I think. Yeah, that's all I can say. That's all right, Raptor. You have the floor.
Dear God, I've got some massive fucking shoes to fill. If you were supposed to be the good cop, gee, what do I even say?
See, good cop in my case was like a I was going, which reflects my feelings about it. It's more of a sympathetic disappointment.
Oh, okay. So in other words, you want me to just completely tear into it? Gotcha.
Be honest. Just be the way the you that you want to feel about it. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't have to you don't have to make it more. You don't have to overplay it. It would be the word, I guess.
All right, I'll be completely blunt.
Yeah.
This was just terrible in every sense of the word, and I cannot excuse it in any way. For one reason alone, I just can't excuse it. The way they went about it just does not make any sense at all. Purely for the fact that all it took for a man who literally wanted to create a system that would make AIs want to cause humanity's extinction, all it took for him to not want to do that anymore is one dog. One. And don't get me wrong, the dog was cute and all, but it turned what was a genuinely interesting villain, where I really wanted to see what his motivations really were, to a genuine, just worse version of Dan without any comedy. And that was and Dan's turnaround didn't even actually happen.
Yeah.
Dan was never a good guy, but now they're really trying to push Stouser like he is, and it just isn't working.
Yeah.
Not purely because his entire character before was based around him being this horrible shitbag of a human being, and now they're just like, "Oh, yep, I'm sorry, he has dog now, so you can't be mad at him, right?" And I'm just like, "Well, no, I still can. I've seen the list of crimes. It's terrible.
One of them was sexual harassment, by the way.
You cannot get this man who honestly, second-degree murder charges are probably questionable at that point, but like he just so much going on with him that the fact that they just wanted to say there was a dog and that's all he needed is just ridiculous to me. I just I just can't. My honest opinions of Dan at this point. I mean, I'm sorry, Fauser at this point, because I'm not even going to use his name anymore. Fauser is, in every sense of the word, just a worse attempt at making Dan again, and in every way, like note for note, you get a completely irredeemable asshole of a person in charge of the company, and because of one somewhat comedic thing, they're able to bring him back as a protagonist. That is beat for beat Dan. But the difference is Dan was actually funny before and after his transformation into the good side, and even then he wasn't even a hero.
He ended up being the villain of the after show, V Cinema trilogy. He was never really good. He was just working with them because that was advantageous. Yeah, that was advantageous for him at the time.
Right. And then you compare it to Guy, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I have dog. Please don't hurt me. I'm sorry." I,
Granted,
the only credit I can give to the writing at this point is at least not every, except Fua. Outside of Fua, no one else has accepted him at this point, and that's good. Don't because if everyone
wait,
immediately was
outside
like,
of
okay,
Fua or Aruto?
outside of Fua, Fua's been pretty chill with him
No,
for the most part.
he was pissed with him, wasn't he?
Uh No, that was only in one of the flashbacks. From
In
what
this,
I mean, no, not one of the flashbacks. One of the
to be fair,
simulation.
the simulations are really accurate. It
Fair enough.
I doubt anyone has been accepting of him so far. Too far. I
True,
think
true.
the only one that really had, they all kind of have like a yeah, you sure for now. I hope that's all I can really say about that's all I really have to add, I guess.
But like all I gotta say, right, to top all of this off, is I just like, how do I put this, right? Um, he's not well written, and I can't blame the pandemic because if from what I've seen, people understand what I'm saying when I say this writer tends to not do the best when it comes to the final like arc of a show,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to like the very very end. Things just start to not make as much sense. Uh, which I think this is another perfectly good showing of that. This isn't an issue with with speeding up this process. It's more of an issue of this writer seems to struggle a lot when it comes to the ends of the show.
Yeah, he's good with the writer, which also I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. He wrote X8. Um, he tends to do really well with like the beginning with like the fun episodes, the middle where it's there's a little bit of fun but it starts to get more serious. But like I think he definitely he's dropped the ball so far, at least for now, going in like we're
He's
5 episodes away from the finale, so I don't know whether I want to say yes or no to this or not, but like whether I think it's been terrible so far or not, because we're like just now entering the final arc, the final arc, like the final five, like the final battle, basically, right?
right,
Um,
right.
I don't know. He definitely tends to fumble it at the end. Um,
Yeah, from what we can tell at least, because it's already starting to really. Because like, you ever wonder what happened to Azu?
I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's weird because like Azu was in like the opening since day one, and she was kind of just there to get information to create to, make the arc. Um, that's it.
Yeah, so I just gotta say, like, I don't even think it's like like a timing issue.
No,
It's
no.
like at this point, like you realize that even with such limited timing, you can rewrite how it works. You could have saved all this time and just been like, yeah, Thalcer's not a good guy now. He's still a bad guy, but he realizes Ark's an issue, so let's work together. That would have been better than trying to act like he redeemed himself in a single episode.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I said like it might have been the pandemic, but like I'm more on that side of like there's too much pre planning that goes into this type of thing for it
Mm-hmm.
to be like the only defense I can say is that like the only way I'm thinking about it is that maybe this was supposed to be a 50 episode season, but because the like manufacturing and planned releases for Saber stuff are set ahead of time, you do have to cut shit down so that it lines up still. and that's why where
Right.
my sympathetic. That's where I feel a little bit sympathetic for what. But even then, like, come on.
Yep.
Where I'm coming from more so on that part, because like you, it is a
Like, yeah,
toy focused show, and you do have to ride around the toys of
but
like the releases
there's ways you can do that without jeopardizing the plot,
or
in my
jeopardizing character specifically as
right.
well. Anyway,
Yeah,
I think I'm done talking about Guy for now.
yeah.
If you have any final words on him, you sure.
I have a few more things to say.
Okay.
Fuck guy.
Okay. That's more
That is
fair.
all.
All right, moving on to the real villain, Arc.
Whoa, wait a minute. You missed Naki.
Uh, Naki debuted as a writer after Arc.
Oh
Yeah, I'm going
yeah.
by debuts for now.
Right.
So Arc or Arc Zero, at least as a writer, has been the most intimidating villain for me in a bit. Like his debut fight where he just completely crushed Jin and Valkyrie immediately
Hmm.
really set the stakes high immediately.
Not to mention, I gotta quote actually something I said while watching the last episode with our little viewing party.
Yeah.
Arc Zero, in so many ways, is just Father Pucci voicing Frieza the T-1000, because that's what he feels like sometimes.
Yeah,
And I don't even say that as a bad thing. It's fucking awesome.
he's liquid metal. Check.
Hmm.
He's done Frieza balls and like
And
the
that
Frieza
laser
laser
beam
shit.
attack, plus
Boom.
he actually voiced by Father Pucci.
At least the Poochie from the
Oh,
games,
yeah.
which I feel
Well,
like
that's the only Father Pucci we have at the moment, so
yeah,
man, I'm not wrong, I guess.
that's fair. That's fair.
Um, but yeah, like literally, he's a liquid metal based machine bent on extermination who's doing Frieza balls and lasers and shit, and like literally. Don't you remember when he literally like force grabbed someone and lifted them up into the air before attack, like blowing them up midair? That's literally everything a Frieza did.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's not much about his character that we can talk about because he's just
Except that he's awesome.
yeah, he's just like a like and he's just more of like a force of nature, kind of, essentially.
Yes,
Um,
in a good, and for once in a good way.
yeah,
Uh,
he's
because I have some, there are some writers that tried to do the same thing in the past. It's just not very well in comparison.
um. I'm gonna ask you about that after we're done. Um, I don't want to like sidetrack the conversation more than we've
No,
done it.
it's nothing sidetrack. I'm just shit talking Odin again because, eh.
Oh,
But
okay, fair enough.
unfortunately, yeah, because like because Arc Zero is just this force of nature who doesn't even have a real body to himself that we know of. That just kind of goes around, kicks the shit out of people, and is like, okay, I've done what I need to. Time to go. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
he just kicks ass and leaves. Arc Zero's design is really cool. I love the like the asymmetric eye design. Uh,
Yeah, especially when they glow.
yeah, the like the arc on one side, the belt's nice and like it fits him aesthetically in this form. Um, uh, the tubes coming out and in are they're pointless, but they look cool. Um, the white and black with the little splashes of red. It's the perfect Dark Rider design, in all honesty.
Yeah,
I love the helmet. I love like the almost the sewn. Like it kind of looks like the mouth is like sewn, like sewn up or something like that. In a way, it gives like a skull vibe to it. Is what I'm thinking of. Not like the rider
yeah,
skull, but like the way that like the black tears away and there's like the silver underneath. but it looks like teeth, and it's just a really cool villain rider design.
Yeah, I completely agree, honestly.
Yeah. We can talk about Arc 1 when it debuts.
Yeah.
Um, which should be, if I had to guess, within the next 2 weeks, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Within the next 2 weeks or so, maybe three, actually, depending on how long they want to give Arc Arc 1 to actually shine. I can't see it being too long from now, though, honestly.
Yeah, because like 2 would be okay. So we're on 41.
41 is next.
Yeah, so
Not getting
it's
it 41.
hmm?
We're not getting it on 41, I don't think.
No, they didn't show it off at all. Um, it's
I
not.
mean, yeah, that's true, actually.
Uh,
We know it'll be next month at least, which doesn't really say much, but
oh
eh.
yeah, yeah. Because that was that. That's in terms of range. That's between. That's somewhere between the episode that's after that one and the last episode of the show.
Yeah, that's equivalent. That is the episode equivalent of do better than you're currently doing and try to win. Yep, try to win. Do better than you're currently doing. Like, not much going there, really. Um, but
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the final rider of the show, Naki.
I
Uh,
love Naki.
Naki
So
becoming a rider was one of the. I was so happy that they went through with it because I wasn't sure, go like in the once we were getting closer, if they were gonna do it or not. But I'm really glad they did. Um, the
and I
fact that
hope
they
we get
gave
a big start.
the fact that they gave them a wolf themed form is really nice touch. I'm really happy they did that. Um, which means now I'm thinking about it, now the main and secondary riders, being 01 and Vulcan, have a a Zetsumetsu key alternative.
Oh yeah, because there's Rocking Hopper too,
Yeah,
and
Rocking
Japanese
Hopper and now Japanese Wolf for Naki. The design itself is really sweet. I love the design. I like the wind theme that they went with
Yeah,
for
wind.
them.
It's good.
Wind
It's
snow.
good.
Wait. It's like a wind snow. It's like a blizzard feel.
Blizzard, I guess.
Yeah, the blizzard.
Blizzard.
The design is sick with all the like the straps like flowing down and stuff. Um,
Plus, those claws look really good on them, honestly. Because the claws on the forearms. I mean,
yeah, the
they say
claws are sweet.
claws.
Um, they are really cool. Naki themselves is a really cool character too. Um,
Yeah, they've had so much character development, like so much development, so much they're such an integral part of the plot that it's ridiculous.
yeah, going from a drone like that, like a core member of Metsubo Jinrai to after being recovered, I'm assuming after Daybreak, a drone that just follows guys' orders, but begins to question what it is to have a dream and what it is to be alive, and like whether I can do that as a human gear, is killed. Short is killed by Guy, and then after Fu was critically injured back in the early part of the show, I want to say it was like around 10 or 12. But after that happening, being put into Fua's mind and just kind of being there dormantly for the rest of the time after that, allowing him to transform into Assault Wolf, essentially allowing him to evolve and to pursue his goal. And then awakening again, once we know about them, to fighting free from being controlled and wanting to have a dream of their own, is in that whole fight in fighting alongside Fua in that one scene with the model was awesome. Just so
Honestly, it
so
was.
cool. Uh,
I hope, I can only hope that at some point we get to see Rampage Vulcan and Naki transform and fight together.
I really hope that happens in the next couple of episodes.
Or even if it's not like Rampage, even if it's just like, actually no,
Base.
not Rampage, just base Vulcan and Naki
Oh,
would
yeah,
look so good together.
that would look sweet. Um, yeah, they kick ass. Not to mention being the first like non-gendered rider,
Yeah.
which was a crazy thing. I didn't think was gonna happen ever, to be honest. I wasn't sure if that
And
was ever
more
gonna
than
happen.
and more than just that, they identify, as they them, as one does. I
Yeah,
don't care. Um, and there's such a key component to the plot. That's what really gets me.
and they're
Like, there's such
badass.
an important part of like of the plot. They draw like not only are they important, I mean like actually like they are the dynamic like reasoning for a lot of different things that go down.
Yeah, they uh, they made it possible for Vulcan to fight
Yep.
past a point. Um, they helped assemble Metsubo Jinrai, which of course is what we're feeling the effects of that currently. Um, it's awesome. They're a really good character, and they got a really good design to boot.
Yep.
Um,
Can't wait to see more of them because I want figure arts of the entire Metsubo Jinrai team.
yeah, I want to see displays
Whole
of
team.
that because we have Jin and Hirobi. We just need a Naki and a Ikazuchi, and we'll have that full
Yeah.
set. We'll have that full team, and yeah, I really hope we get to see the four of them, you know, uh, fight together one last time against the Ark. That would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. That would be really
I,
really cool.
Random question, since you would probably know more than I do. Is there a Kamen Rider Raiden?
I don't think so.
So why the hell is Ikazuchi the only one that didn't get to be named himself? Kamen Rider Raiden
Okay.
sounds cool, and he's the only one that doesn't do that. It's
I
throwing me off
think
so much.
I think that was to play into the shock that the third Metsubo Jinrai member was a currently active Humagear.
True,
I think
fair,
that's the whole
fair.
reason because we knew the scans had the name of the character, like the Televikun scans had the name of the rider. Um, if I remember correctly, so like if you like granted once you learned that his name was Raiden and you had like general knowledge of like that whole thing.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I think that's the only reason. But it does make him a black sheep of the four as a
But then
result,
again,
as far as name goes.
he's a black sheep for many reasons, honestly. Like using a Zetsumetsu key that doesn't actually say what it is when you put it in the Force Riser, because that's the only one that does that.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah, actually, yeah, and I just thought about that because his transformation doesn't say like Dodo or anything like that. He's
Yeah,
the only. Let me phrase that. He's the only one to use a Magia key.
yeah, Amagi, because you know, Naki uses that to Metsuki, but it's more along the lines of the like the normal keys of the show.
Yeah, like it's I put it in the same group as Rocking Hopper personally. Like it's a
And
Zetsumetsu key, but it's like a step above Zetsumetsu.
it's
It's
got its
like
own special properties as well that are separate
yeah,
from Rocking Hopper as well. I think.
yeah,
Yeah, because it doesn't have like it because like Rocking Hopper says like that says Common Rider when you press the button.
Kamen Rider.
And then but Japanese Wolf just says Japanese Wolf.
Yeah,
It's a weird mix between the Rocking Hopper key and like your normal Magia key.
yeah, and that's honestly why I put it in that Rocking Hopper category, purely because both of them are so weird that they don't fit in with anything else perfectly.
Yeah,
So I just kind of put them together as the weird keys.
the weird Zetsumetsu keys basically.
Yeah,
Um,
the other ones.
the other ones. Um,
That sounds like a really cool name for a band. The other ones.
that could be a name
Regardless,
of like a kaijin group in a future Reiner season. That'd be cool.
yeah, that actually would be cool.
Yeah. Um.
Anyway, I think we've talked about all the riders, haven't we?
Yeah, and this was an hour and 30-minute recording so far.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure we can stop rambling on incoherently about Japanese children's shows to the wonderful people who don't really care about that sort of thing.
Yes.
So I think now's the perfect time to just, not.
Yeah. So before we go, Raptor, do we have any questions for Q&A?
All right. It's finally time. We talk about the wonderful questions that you guys left in the comments of our last video all those 5 months ago. Let's see all the questions you guys have asked us in 5 months. There are no questions.
Thank you for your input.
I like how I hype it up like, yeah, it's been 5 months. Let's see how many questions we got. None. Okay.
Enjoyable. Wonderful.
Thank you for all your questions.
Thank you for your ongoing support from the past year.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I
We're
think
gonna get one of those final broadcast like ads for I mean not ads, previews for 01 soon, and that's gonna be sad actually.
Oh yeah. Remember the one with Hyper Muteki on like the cliff?
Yeah.
That was sad. All right. Now, much like every other Rider season, things have to end, and so does this episode. Thank you for listening in.
Yes, things must come to an end unless you're Ichigo, in which case, fuck, I guess you just don't stop anyway. Jesus, why is the first season so long? God. Ah.
Unlike that, we will be ending now.
All right.
We will catch you up next time on hopefully some good Saber information from the press conference that will be happening tomorrow night.
And we will be recording because, we're those types of guys.
Yes. Enjoy your day or night.
All that good stuff. And remember, stay hydrated, get plenty of sleep, and watch Samurai Flamenco. This guy finally did it.
We did.
What's your excuse? I wove it into an CGO. You can even watch the freaking anime, and I'll still weave it into the conversation, telling people to watch it.
I didn't expect any less. Goodbye, good people.
Goodbye.